A quick search online and you'll notice there's a lot of online coaches that are too granular, too specific, and a lot of what they're suggesting is not applicable. I mean, I think parts of what they're saying add up to a better plan, but they're often putting these little details before the big things that will make a change. So yeah, I think if you're worried about sugar in high doses, there might be some things that we're concerned about, how much sugar is floating around your blood, how much is it causing any damage to any of your cells. Of course, diabetes and the like is something that's a concern for chronic illness and aging demographic. But before you have to worry about sugar, you probably need to worry about your overall calorie balance, because if you're not ingesting more energy than you need, then the body will immediately take what you're taking in and use it. But not if there's enough already that's come in and now it's just having some time floating around before it gets stored. So the coach that's telling you to avoid all sugar at all costs, it's toxic. I mean, there's an element of truth, there's a grain of truth to it, but it's focusing on something too small, too granular. And for that reason, it's not really applicable. You probably need to get a better hold of your nutrition before you need to focus on one particular ingredient and what you're taking in. Same goes for exercise. You probably just need to move more in your day than worry about the ideal set and rep and the angle that you're setting up your exercise and the incline that you're using on the treadmill. Like, these details, they might be helpful at some point in your journey. But if a coach is really just building their whole persona off of this, and they're that's the thing that they say is what's missing in your plan, they're just marketing. They're actually not. They're just trying to find their niche. They're trying to find a way to stick out in this field, in this ocean of information and coaches that exist. And by being specific, by being granular, it helps them to stand out, but it doesn't help you to succeed because it's not really applicable. You got to move more. You got to get a better handle on your nutrition. Yes, it sounds too simple, but that's the big bucket you have to focus on before you focus on the little drops within that bucket. So a lot of what you're seeing online can be applicable in some way, and maybe at some point, and maybe we could pull something from them. But their approaches are way too specific, way too granular. And for that reason, it's not something you can really apply to your life. It might be so that, getting 3 10-minute bouts of moderate to vigorous activity has a positive influence in your day, and you could break it up rather than having it all in one. But if you only can find yourself a nice half-hour block in the day, that's better than nothing. And I think that's what their approaches are missing out on. It's getting too specific, it's getting too rigid, and most of our lives need a little bit of flexibility. From what I've learned about working with clients, everyone's a little bit different. Everyone's got a little bit of different scenario, and the principles will apply, but the details don't always apply. So we need to focus on the principles, the big rocks, more than the details. So remember, when you're listening to the next online coach talking about the thing that you're not doing and that's why you're not succeeding, it's not the case. Like, it's these big things that are in the way of you seeing success. It's not the fact that you're having a little bit too much sugar. It's probably you're having too many calories if you're trying to see a change in your blood chemistry or your blood or your performance or your body composition. There's something grander, and it's the principle rather than the individual grains of truth that exist within each one of these buckets. So remember, it's probably better to go general and broad before we go into details.